Hey, I'm Dr. Mark Rosenberg, and today I'm going to talk about a little bit about my book. It's called If You Look at Your Health in a New Way, and it's available on iTunes as a download. I talk about how to stay fit for life, how to use strength training exercises, aerobic exercises, and flexibility exercises to enhance your health and address your weaknesses and prevent future injuries. But one of the questions, and I wrote the book so that people who ask me a lot of questions online can just read them in the book, because it's all the information is there. In fact, more in depth. But one of the things I talk about in aerobic fitness is the use of a rebounder. Everybody understands running and cycling and swimming and other aerobic exercises. Well, a lot of people don't know what a rebounder is, so I'm going to show you. It's a 3 foot in diameter, approximately 3 foot diameter, small trampoline. Okay, this one's made out of aluminum. Sometimes they're steel. You can get it at any sporting goods store. Sometimes you can order them online. About $50 usually, $40, $50. And first, when you run, let's put it this way, all the force of your body goes down. That's why it hurts the joints. This absorbs all the force and lets it come back up. So let's say you did a hard workout and all your muscles are filled with lactic acid. If you do what's called the health bounce, like this, it puts a repercussive force back through the body and moves those fluids. So it could be used for recovery from a hard workout. But keep in mind, all the organs in your body, bladder, kidneys, liver, heart, are in connective tissue within your body. When you go down and when you run, when you push everything down, when you cycle or swim, that connective tissue doesn't get a lot of exercise. This actually moves the organs up and down, and you could feel your body moving. You could feel it in your arms. And what happens is it tones up the inside of your body. Interesting. In a way that no other, in fact, NASA uses trampoline exercises for this very purpose. It tones up the inside of the body like nothing else. I get questions from women, how can I tighten up the back of my arm? I've been lifting weights. If you hold your arms up and bounce like this, okay, it will tone that area up. Now, let me back up a little bit. When my father had cancer, towards the end of his life, his heart started to fail. And people who have congestive heart failure and other diseases, their feet will swell up with fluids. And because the heart's not strong enough to circulate the fluids back into the system. So what I used to do is I would have my father sit on his easy chair and put his feet on the trampoline. And as all I would do is I would stand next to him and I would bounce on the trampoline like this. Again, this is the health bounce. I'm not leaving the mat. I'm just bouncing. And what would happen after 20, 30 minutes, I could move all the swelling out of his lower legs. It didn't save his life, but it did make him more comfortable the last few weeks to months that he lived. All right, so that's called the health bounce. Again, I'm not leaving the mat. It's toning up muscles that you didn't even know you had. Don't wear shoes. Okay, because what happens is you want to build up the small intrinsic muscles at the bottom of the feet, and you'll do that, okay, by doing this. Okay, again, if you want to tone up your arms, you can hold it out like this. Okay, you can run in place as well. Okay, and you can get your heart rate up. Back when I used to race bicycles, I was back east. We had a particularly bad winter, and I couldn't get out on my bike to ride through December, January, February. The series of races started in March. I rebounded every day for a half hour. So what happens, keep in mind, 20 minutes, 30 minutes on this, if you're doing it vigorously, if you're jumping, you're doing all kinds of crossing of the legs, and you're bouncing with the legs, you're going to get your heart rate up. So when I got back on the bike, it was interesting. A lot of my teammates lost a lot of fitness. I didn't gain any fitness, but I didn't lose any. So it kept whatever cardiovascular gains I had made during the season with me. So really, again, one more time, between helping my father and helping my own heart, it really sold me on the benefits of rebound exercise. So the other thing, a couple of things. If you should start to bounce and you get a headache, that's too much fluid going to your head, stop and come back. That's one warning. Number two, never bounce on it and bounce off. That ground is hard after being on this pad. Stop bouncing and step off. Okay, do not bounce off. Don't bounce on, step on, and then start bouncing. Whether you decide to run on it, whether you decide to bounce a little more vigorously, always start and end with the health bounce, where I'm not leaving the pad. I can almost guarantee you, if you're in a bad mood and you go and bounce for 10 minutes, you will not be in a bad mood. If you watch my videos on depression and I talk about how it manifests in the body, you can see it's hard for you to stay stuck. okay, when you're doing bouncing like this. It's also good for a lot of other things, which we'll cover in other videos. A good stomach exercise with this is also to sit on your butt and to bounce. And you wouldn't believe how that builds your abdominal muscles. And again, don't go from standing to that sitting position right away. Okay, don't bounce into it, okay? Reposition your body. So today's video is a little introduction to what a rebounder is and how I personally use it. That is the health bounce that I refer to. Okay, you could do some fancy footwork on it. You can do all kinds of things. But most importantly, like anything else, I want to stay consistent. You don't need to do it for hours. And what's nice, if you take 5 or 10 minutes and you do it, I found about 12 minutes to be the magic time that I would get my benefits out of it. It was a good health maintenance exercise. I could do it while I was swimming, while I was engaged in other activities as my main aerobic conditioning. I can come back home and do 10 minutes on the rebounder. It would help and enhance those activities as well. Okay? Don't do rebounding on a full stomach, needless to say. Sometimes, for some people, particularly women after they've had babies, their bladder muscles might be a little bit strained. Bouncing on the health bounce will tone up that the muscles around the bladder. So don't be shocked if you are in that condition of post-birth fitness retrieval, let's call it that. You might bounce on this for 3 minutes and have to go to the bathroom right away. Oh my goodness, I can't do that exercise. But you stick with it, and after a few weeks, all of a sudden you'll notice that all the tone is back, and you won't have to worry about it. Okay, that's today's video. Thanks for stopping by, and stay tuned to my channel.